So from this point on, I'm going to have to actually work with the Mulcore model to get animation onto him so we can instance it over our crowd. So having saved our scene, let's just save our scene here, we'll be coming back to it and using this very model. I'll create a blank scene and pull Mulcore into my empty 3D viewport as a model. So I'll pull in the advanced rig. And because I'm going to be using some motion capture and processing it on the Mulcore character, I'm going to need to load in the tag template I created in the motor training tutorial. Now if you haven't done this, I would recommend going back and just revisiting this concept. I'm going to load in the tag template. And once that template's loaded, I am free to go in and load any motion from the samples library onto Mulcore. So if I load a motion, I'll pick a file. And these are all in the motor format, so they've already been converted from BVH. I'm going to scroll down to a file that's called Medieval Charge with Spear. We're going to have these Mulcore characters charging a position. I'll pick the file, apply it to the character, and our idea here is to pick out a nice cycle that we could use. The file looks to be very short, and we've got 3.5 steps, and luckily within this file we actually have a perfect loop. Starting at frame 6, we have the left foot planted, and we have a similar pose again here on frame 25. So we actually have a 20 frame run cycle. I'll actually plot that out, and I'll plot from frame 6 to frame 25. And we could specify a frame step of, say, 2 or 3 just to optimize a little bit, and I could preserve my peak and valleys in the original source data. So I plot this out so that we're actually converting from motion capture file to keyframe. And now if I select all of the keys that make up the objects that are animated that make up the character, I can shift select all of the keys in my timeline and shift them to start back at frame 1. Alright, so everything's looking pretty good there. I could make sure that the poses on the first and end frames are identical, but I'm actually going to go with this for a bit and see how things are. I'm going to try and remove some of the offset of this animation from the start of the world origin, from the move all controller. And we can actually use a little bit of the animation layering capabilities in XSI to help us out. So we've gone from some MoCap data to plotted keyframe data, and just to show you there are no mixer clips sitting in the animation mixer. We're dealing with pure function curve data at this point. So let's do a little bit of animation correction.